Well said. Just the last couple of things for myself. Since we last spoke, there was a video that leaked of Tyson Fury appeared to be drunk and stumbling out of a pub heading into the rematch with Oleksandr Usyk. I wonder if those images, he's come out and said, look, it was just one night. I needed to blow out to just, let things kind of loose and have a bit of fun. But did those images concern you?
Not at all. Not at all. He's just a young guy, and he's making mistakes that young men make. Tyson Fury is still a force to be dealt with in the heavyweight division, and anybody thinks that he's not is making a big mistake. He's just a young guy. I mean, each one of us at some point, you can look back on your life, and even here, in the privacy of my own mind, there's so many things that I look back on, So many things I look back on and say, damn, why did I do that? Why did I make this decision? I shouldn't have did that. So young people now, that's 15, 18, 20, 21, 22, 20, you got to make a lot of mistakes. But you got to be able to recognize that they were mistakes and try to enhance your credibility by not making the same mistake twice. So I don't think that Tyson Fury that does anything to diminish who he is and what he is. He's a fine fighter. He's a threatening fighter. And he's lethal if you allow him to be. And I know that Oleksandr Usyk will not be facing the same Tyson Fury in the rematch. But in the same breath, Tyson Fury won't be facing the same Oleksandr Usyk. Just like Tyson Fury is going to go correct his flaws, Oleksandr Usyk is going to go back and correct his flaws. So it will not be the same fight for either guy. But if I had to lean towards either guy, I'd lean towards Oleksandr Usyk because he's the consummate professional. Tyson is not. Tyson takes these breaks to blow off steam. Oleksandr Usyk does not take breaks to blow off steam. Oleksandr Usyk takes breaks to concentrate on getting better.
Usyk has said recently in an interview with the Three Knockdown Rule podcast, he said, look, I'm going to have this rematch with Fury, and then I'm going to probably drop down to cruiserweight and go try and pick up the undisputed titles again at cruiserweight. What do you think of that step if he does choose to go that path? And what does that do for his legacy, considering that there might be more fights at heavyweight for him to have?
Well, he made complaints about having to eat so much to maintain status at heavyweight. And you can't blame a person for that. He's watching out for his safety, his well-being. He does not like gorging himself. And I can tell you that from the time that I trained him. I trained him for 3 years. Constantly, we were together in Kiev, Ukraine. And I can tell you, this guy never ate a lot of food. He's not an eater. He just don't like gorging himself to maintain his status at heavyweight. So he says, look, I'm going to beat this guy, and then I'm going to go back to cruiserweight because you can't argue with a guy trying to watch out for his health. He does not like gorging himself to maintain his ability at heavyweight. He's a natural little guy. He's a natural little guy. But he's a strong guy. And now everyone understands that when I say that Oleksandr Usyk can hurt you, now everybody's on and on. And when he hurt Tyson in that fight, he hurt him bad. Did you see Tyson's eyes when he went against the ropes? His eyes said, I'm hurt, and I'm in serious trouble here. And if it had not been for that referee, I think that he would have knocked Tyson unconscious. When Tyson fell against those ropes, he was gone, And now everybody, including Tyson Fury, now they're not laughing at me. When I told him that Oleksandr Usyk can hurt you, I know the guy. I worked with the guy 3 years. I know the guy can punch. And he's a strong guy. He's stronger than what people give him credit for. He's deadly when he's strong. When he gets you hurt, he's going to finish you. He's going to finish you. That's Oleksandr Usyk. Now, all of a sudden, everybody is calling me up saying, You were right. You were right. Of course I'm right. Idiots, man. You know, I told him, I said, this guy can hurt you. If you go in there underestimating his power, he can hurt you. Now everybody understands what I'm saying, including Tyson Fury.
What, just very lastly, if he does take that,
Excuse me.
go on.
You know how we talk. And I told you that this guy could punch. If he gets a clean shot in, he could hurt Tyson Fury. Remember, I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what happened? Did you see his eyes when he hit those ropes? He was gone. He was in another zone. If it had not been for that referee stepping in when he did, he shouldn't have broke the momentum of the punches. Even though, you know, when you sag against ropes, it is legally a knockdown. But I think at that time, because of the momentum that Oleksandr Usyk, I think that he could have let that go. I think he could have worked. I think he should have let that go and let it play out. He saved him.
Very lastly from myself, what might that do if Usyk does choose to finish up at heavyweight and move back down to cruiser? Now, the drop or in change in weight won't be different, but some might remark that, you know, Roy Jones Jr. made a similar sort of weight up and then back down after a fight to take on Antonio Tarver and ended up on the losing end and wasn't the same after the fact. Can he learn any lessons from what Roy Jones Jr. did, or is it a completely different situation?
I think it's a completely different situation. I think that Oleksandr Usyk is more concentrated than Roy was. Roy had a lot of things going on at that time, a lot of distractions, you know, at that time. So I think that this is a more concentrated, more calculated situation with Oleksandr Usyk. Like I said, Oleksandr Usyk is the consummate professional. He's not going to make those errors. Believe me, Oleksandr Usyk is examining the Roy Jones situation before he makes that move to go back down. Oleksandr Usyk is already examining what happened to Roy Jones. He's already examining the ramifications of what could and might be when he goes back down. But he'll do it in a fashion where it does not hurt him. Trust me, Oleksandr Usyk knows what he's doing. And he's, like I said, he's a consummate professional. He's one of the most unique guys that I've ever trained in my career as a boxing trainer. You know, and people say, "Oh, why do you give Oleksandr Usyk so much credit? This and that." That I give credit where credit is due. The man is good. The man is great, and I kept telling everybody, and now everybody has called me saying, "You were right." Of course, I'm right. Of course, I'm right. I know my business. I understand. And I know a unique talent when I see one. And if I ever work with a unique talent, Oleksandr Usyk is that unique talent.
James, the pleasure is all mine. It's been great to catch up with you. Looking forward to that next conversation. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you on that undercard with Vlad Serenko for Joshua versus Dubois.
Be in London on that undercard with my charge, Vladislav Serenko. I'm really looking forward to that because this young man needs a break. He needs a chance to get out there. You know, I really want him to get this opportunity to show his wares. You know, he's been in there with some good guys, with some big punches. He's been in there with the who's who: Michael Hunter, Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, Oleksandr Usyk, Vladimir Klitschko. He's been in there with the guy. I know he can do a good job. He's just got to be given the opportunity, and he's going to shine when he does.
James, pleasure. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out. We'll speak very soon.
Yes, sir.